Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. This is your the Bodega Cat Book Club Health Edition, and today we are continuing our reading of Your Body's Many Cries for Water by Dr. B. I call him Dr. B because I don't know how to pronounce his name. I suppose I can call him Dr. Batman because he's got the word Batman in there, which is pretty cool. Anyways, the subtitle is called You're Not Sick, You're Thirsty. Don't treat thirst with medication. Now, this book was inspired by fundamentals. We have four building blocks that makes up this physical world that we live in, and water is one of them. The other three are earth, fire, and air. And if you want to add a fifth element, a fifth building block, it would be ether. So I think it's important to understand, to learn and understand the fundamentals, what makes up our world, so that we can navigate through it, right? Or manifest, use it for manifestation. So before we begin, just a quick plug. If you like what we do, if you find value in these video series, please check out our YouTube channel with other stuff. We have things in there, not just book clubs, but you could check out our other book clubs as well. On Mondays, we have our spiritual book clubs where we read spiritual books, and then Thursdays we have our financial book club where we read financial books. So please join us there as well. And incidentally, this book club, the health book club, this is the last episode, so we will be starting a new book soon. So subscribe to our channel and watch for our new intro for the new book and join us there. We have a monthly free monthly newsletter that we put out. So please sign up and subscribe for that. And if you have any books that you want us to recommend to read, we'd be happy to consider it. And I'll leave a link in the description box below for you to let us know. And we appreciate that very much. We also have podcasts that we put out once in a while, and you can find that on our website as well as our YouTube channel. And if you want to support us, we would appreciate that you would support us in whatever way you can, whether it's for free or not free or whatever. So you can buy me a coffee, you can leave us a donation, or check out our merch. We have many, many designs, and we're putting out new ones every month. And especially for the holidays, we have cute holiday designs for cats, mostly cats for, you know, and anyways, you guys can check it out. And we have new merch all the time. So come back to our website often and check out our merch and other things that we have on there. Um, okay, lastly, if you are in Los Angeles area, or if you're traveling to LA, please come join us in person at our healing center. We have a healing center that we use technologies based on Nikola Tesla's scalar wave research for holistic healing for both animals, cats and dogs, domestic cats and dogs, as well as humans. So read all about the information there, as well as our other services, and join us in person. We'd love to meet you in person. There's nothing like personal energy. The energy is very different in person as opposed to Zoom. Zoom is great, you know, electronics and technology is great, but in-person energy is the best. So, anyways, that's all I have. Okay, so for this book, this is chapter 12, and this is part 2. And like I said, I think this is the last episode. Okay, let me double check. I think so. Yeah. This is the last section of last video. Okay. All right. If you have a book, you can follow with us there. If not, you can follow with us here on camera. And I hope you enjoyed this book very much. I do. I've been trying to drink. I'm not a water drinker, so I've been trying to drink water. He suggests, if I remember correctly, 10-ounce cup, 10-ounce cup. I have a 16-ounce mug that I try to drink. You know, my goal is to drink 4 of those cups, but I've been falling short lately. I've been falling off the wagon. But I at least drink one of the 16 a day, but I can do better. I can always do better. We can always do better, right? People talk about competition. There really isn't any competition. You're your own competition. You, you strive, you work on yourself. You strive to do better, whatever it is that you're doing. So like my water drinking, I'm not good with water. I can drink water, not my favorite thing to do. It's not the first thing that I think of. Uh, but I always every day is a new day, and I try to drink. I try to make that goal every day. And I fall short. I fall short a lot, but you get up and do it again. Anyways, little life lesson there. Okay, so let us begin. This is again chapter 12, part 2. Let me repeat. When the body begins to collect salt, it is doing so to keep water in the body. From this edema fluid, it can filter some of its water and flush it through the cell membrane into some of the cells. It is the same principle as the water purification process employed in reverse osmosis plants that manufacture drinking water for communities without direct access to fresh water. That is why the rise in blood pressure to build a filtration force is necessary. The body is under a constant drive to retain salt to keep water inside the system. It will take a gradual increase in urine to pass the excess salt out. Water will do it if its intake is increased very gradually. When urine formation is reduced and some edema of the legs and eyelids is present, increased water intake should be proportionate to increased urine in production. As the puffiness of the eyes and the swelling of the ankles begin to show signs of being reduced, then water intake can be increased. My basic concern is for the inadvertent collection of water in the lungs. That is why I insist on an accurate measurement of fluid intake and urine output if you wish to test the effect of increasing your daily water intake and reducing your coffee and tea intake. The precaution to keep in mind is loss of salt from the body when water intake is increased and salt intake is not. After a few days of taking 6 or 8 or 10 glasses of water a day, you should think of adding some salt to your diet. If you begin to feel muscle cramps at night, remember you are becoming salt deficient. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. They always say that muscle cramps is magnesium deficient. It could be true. I mean, two things can be true at once. I don't know. I'm not sure. Interesting though. Cramps in unexercised muscles must often mean salt shortage in the body. If cramps occur, you should also begin to increase your vitamin and mineral intake, particularly if you do not eat sufficient vegetables, which have water-soluble vitamin content. I have developed a rule of thumb for daily salt intake. For every 10 glasses of water, about 2 quarts, one should add to the diet about half a teaspoon of salt per day. An average teaspoon contains 6 grams of salt. Half a teaspoon contains about 3 grams of salt. Of course, one must make sure that the kidneys are producing urine, otherwise the body will swell up. If you sense your skin or ankles are beginning to swell, reduce salt intake for a few days, but increase water intake until the swelling disappears. You should also increase your movements. Muscle activity will draw the excess fluid into the blood circulation, and some salt will be lost in perspiration and urine. Do not do not stand or sit in one position too long. The letter from Edward Dupre in this chapter shows how increased water and salt intake relieved his symptoms of muscular dystrophy. And here is the letter. So this letter was from Edward Dupre from West Piston, Pennsylvania, dated March 15, 1995. And it is addressed to Global Health Solutions, care of Dr. B in Falls Church, Virginia. And the letter reads, Dear Dr. B, around November 1st, my legs were giving out. They became black and blue from my knees to my thighs and very painful. I went to the doctor and he told me that my muscle enzymes were at 660 and normal was 90. Then I went to another doctor and he said that I had muscular dystrophy. I started talking to Dr. B, who told me to start drinking 2 quarts of water daily. I have been, and I feel much better, and all symptoms disappeared in 2 months. I also use sea salt liberally with all my meals. I went back to the doctor and had additional blood work done. The enzyme levels in my muscles were back to normal, and the doctor couldn't understand how it was possible. As of this date, March 15, 1995, I'm free of all discomfort and symptoms. I also have more energy and better health than I can remember for a long time. Sincerely, Edward Dupre. Okay. Exercise. The most important factor for survival after air, water, salt, and food is exercise. The following points explain the importance of exercise for better health and a pain-free longer life. Exercise expands the vascular system in the muscle tissue and prevents hypertension. Exercise opens the capillaries in the muscle tissue and by lowering the resistance to blood flow in the arterial system causes the blood pressure to drop to normal. Exercise builds up muscle mass and prevents muscles being broken down as fuel. Exercise stimulates the activity of fat-burning enzymes for the manufacture of constantly needed energy for muscle activity. When you train, you are in effect changing the source of energy for muscle activity. You convert the energy source from sugar that is in circulation to fat that is stored in the muscle itself. Exercise makes muscles burn as additional fuel some of the amino acids that would otherwise reach toxic levels in the body. In their more than normal levels in the blood, usually reached in an unexercised body, certain branched chain amino acids cause a drastic destruction and depletion of other vital amino acids. Some of these discarded essential amino acids are constantly needed by the brain to manufacture its neurotransmitters. Two of these essential amino acids are tryptophan and tyrosine. The brain uses tryptophan to make serotonin, melatonin, tryptamine, and indolamine, all of which are antidepressants and regulate sugar level and blood pressure. Tyrosine is used for the manufacture of adrenaline, noradrenaline, and dopamine, vital for the coordination of body physiology when it has to take a physical action, such as fighting, running, playing, sports, and so on. Excess tyrosine loss from the amino acid reserves of the body is also a primary factor in Parkinson's disease. Unexercised muscle gets broken down. As a result of the excretion of muscle parts from the body, some of the reserves of zinc and vitamin B6 also get lost. At a certain stage of this constant depletion of vitamin B6 and zinc, certain mental disorders and neurological complications occur. In effect, this happens in autoimmune diseases, including lupus and muscular dystrophy. Exercise makes the muscles hold more water in reserve and prevent increased concentration of blood that would otherwise damage the lining of the blood vessel walls. Exercise lowers blood sugar in diabetes and decreases their need for insulin and tablet medications. Exercise compels the liver to manufacture sugar from the fat. Sorry, Exercise compels the liver to manufacture sugar from the fat that it stores or the fat that is circulating within the blood. Exercise causes an increase in the mobility of the joints in the body. It causes the creation of an intermittent vacuum inside the joint cavities. The force of the vacuum causes suction of water into the cavity. Water in the joint cavity brings dissolved nutrients to the cells inside the cartilage. Increased water content of the cartilage also adds to its lubrication and smoother bone-on-bone gliding movements of the joint. Leg muscles act as secondary hearts. By their contractions and relaxations during the time we were upright, the leg muscles overcome the force of gravity. The pump into the venous system they pump into the venous system the blood that was sent to the legs. Because of the pressure breakers and one directional valves in the vein, the blood in the leg veins is pushed upward against gravity by frequent contraction of the leg muscles. This is how the leg muscles act as hearts for the venous system in the body. This is a value to exercise that not only people appreciate. This is a value to exercise that not many people appreciate. Leg muscles also cause an equally effective flow within the lymphatic system and cause edema in the legs to disappear. Exercise strengthens the bone of the body and helps prevent osteoporosis. Exercise increases the production of all vital hormones, enhancing libido and heightening sexual performance. 1 hour of walking causes the activation of fat-burning enzymes, which remain active for 12 hours. A morning and afternoon walk will keep these enzymes active around the clock and will cause clearance of cholesterol deposits in the arterial system. Exercise enhances the activity of the adrenaline-operated sympathetic nervous system. Adrenaline also reduces the oversecretion of histamine and as a result prevents asthma attacks and allergic reactions, providing the body is fully hydrated. Exercise increases production of endorphins and enkephalins, the natural opiates of the body. They produce the same high that drug addicts try to achieve through their abusive intake. What What are the best forms of exercise? Exercising the body for endurance is better than exercising it for speed or for building excess muscle. In selecting an exercise, you should consider its lifetime value. A long-distance runner will enjoy the exercise value of long-distance runs into old age. A sprinter will not sprint for exercise at a later phase of life. The best exercise that one can benefit from, even to a ripe old age and without causing damage to the joints, is walking. Other exercises that increase endurance are swimming, golf, skiing, skating, climbing, tennis, squash, cycling, tai chi, dancing, and aerobics. In selecting an exercise, one should evaluate its ability to keep fat-burning enzymes active for longer durations. Outdoor forms of exercise are more beneficial for the body than indoor forms of exercise. The body becomes better connected to nature. The 4 most vital steps to better health are balancing the water and salt content of the body, exercising the muscle mass of the body, taking a balanced daily diet of vegetables, proteins and vegetables, and avoiding dehydration beverages. So just a side note, in the comment section below, let us know which exercise you like best. I like walking, tai chi, and yoga is more stretching in my opinion, which is also good. Um, but I like walking and Tai Chi. So let us know which one you like or which one you're doing and how often. Continue. At this stage in the book, I would like to inform you that a vast majority of frequently used medications are either directly or indirectly strong antihistamines. The strongest variety is used in the discipline of psychiatry and for patients with depression. Many of the antidepressant drugs on the market are antihistamines, so much so that some gastroenterologists are using these drugs for the treatment of ulcer patients because they are cheaper. There are many of them on the market, and because of competition, their prices are lower than the traditional H2 blocking agents that have cornered the market. This information is given to indicate that the pharmaceutical industry appreciates the significance of histamine activity in the human body. The industry is not here to inform us of the role of histamine in water regulation of the body. It is made up of business enterprises interested in marketing their products. The next time your physician prescribes a medication for you, ask if it has any antihistamine activity. Just a side note, I bet the doctors don't even know. They are such drug pushers. I know I'm making a biased comment, but most doctors, they probably don't even know. Well, as a nurse, I didn't know. You were just giving drugs. Um, continuing, the antihistamine medications will strongly affect the immune systems of the body at the level of the bone marrow, the healthcare system, and our responsibilities. If you have suffered because of the application of medical ignorance to your body's earlier calls for water, it becomes the responsibility of your attending doctor to supervise your return to health by tailing off the use of chemicals for the treatment of chronic dehydration in your body. You should make sure your doctor becomes aware of the information on water metabolism and your body's other call signals for water when dehydration begins to alter the body physiology. Your doctor is responsible to you, and as your physician, he needs to become informed. Mm, I would propose, as a side note, that you are the one that should be informed, taking responsibility for your action. Um, yes, you have your doctor, uh, but you can't expect him or her to have that full responsibility. That just means giving your power away, right? It should be a symbiotic relationship. Your doctor and you should be a symbiotic relationship because your doctor has the knowledge and the experience of treating, many, many people. So he or she can see patterns, uh, that are similar to certain diseases and stuff like that. But you are the expert of your own health. Your body is your best physician. So yes, you should take your doctor's recommendations, but under advisement doesn't mean you have to take it or you have to follow it. Yeah, always take everything with a grain of salt. And excuse me, ask questions. I bet if you are informed, if you are an informed patient and you ask a lot of the questions, your doctor probably doesn't know. I mean, I could be wrong. There are informed doctors out there, but it does take a lot of time and energy to do research. And that's your responsibility because it's your health. So that's my little 2 cents. Let us continue. It is your responsibility to help your doctor become aware of the paradigm shift. It is now your responsibility to help change the healthcare system to work for you and not the commercial and political aims of its administrators. It may become necessary to pass legislation to exclude dehydration as a causative factor in the production of disease conditions before any pharmaceutical or invasive procedures are undertaken. The evaluation of drugs for ultimate use in treatment procedures should be carried out only after patients are fully hydrated and several days have elapsed before starting the test. After all, the water used in taking a pill is immediately more effective in a dehydrated person than the chemical composition of the pill. The placebo effect seen in drug trials is probably the result of some correction for the unrecognized dehydration as a contributing factor in disease production. You are now in the arena. You should use your knowledge for the benefit of mankind and try to bring about the paradigm shift on water metabolism of the body into the everyday practice of medicine. Cost savings to the nation. This paradigm change in medicine, when fully adopted and practiced, will save a large portion of the vast and unnecessary healthcare costs and expenditures. Hypertension and its associated cardiovascular disorders are costing this nation over $100 billion dollars a year. Back pain translates into an $80 billion a year loss to society. Rheumatoid joint disease affects 20 million elderly people and young people too, just a side note, and is costing this nation many tens of billions of dollars annually. About 50 to 60% of healthcare costs are probably incurred as a result of primitive errors about chronic dehydration and the associated signal systems that should be translated as the main thirst indicators of the body. A simple correction of this long-standing scientific mistake can reverse the budget deficit of this nation. In any event, the paradigm shift will produce a much healthier society. It is estimated that the runaway cost of healthcare in the US reached $1.6 trillion dollars by the year 2000 and will increase to 28% of the gross national product by the year 2010. Some 50 million people may not be able to afford to pay the rising cost of health insurance and will be deprived of adequate coverage. The paradigm shift will reverse this no solution in sight healthcare cost spiral trend. I invite you to share the information in this book with your relatives and friends. You will be doing them a favor. By responding positively to this invitation, you will at the same time be helping this nation reduce its healthcare costs by at least 60%. It is criminal that at the beginning of the 21st century, human thirst for water is still being treated with slow poisons. I have a request. If the information in this book helps you, please write me a note about your particular condition and how increased water intake has helped you. We need to document as much information on chronic dehydration as possible. It is a very young science. It needs the input of all who test the information. Your participation will save others with similar problems from unnecessary suffering that local dehydration can produce. Like the other published letters in this book, your input can illuminate the path of others in the future. End of chapter 12 and end of this book. Wow. Yes, if you have any success stories or even not so successful stories like mine, uh, put it in the comment down below and share with us because life is about up and downs. It's not all about roses and peaches and all that good stuff. Although we do want to focus on the roses and peaches, but it's good to share the good, bad, and the ugly. That's what I say, right? Anything that I study, I always want to look for the good, bad, and the ugly, including water. Water has its good stuff, but it also has its negative stuff when taken in excess, right? So we have to go in and know what we're getting into with our eyes fully opened as much as we can, right? So that we're not getting our hopes too high and we're not getting propagandized by marketing and stuff like that because that's all they do out there is propagandize, especially water. And same thing with water. Something as simple as water, they will still market you to the hilts. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this book. I think this is my second time reading it, and I enjoyed it very much. And I'm still struggling. So, but tomorrow is another day. Actually, today is another day. So I'm going to start today. Start with my water intake. All right. So I hope you guys will have a great day, and we will see you next time for our new book. And yeah, subscribe to our YouTube and watch for the intro to the new book. And in the meantime, I hope you guys all have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye bye now.